Thank you all on behalf of YK Center. YK Center is a gold sponsor of this Sustainable Metrics Conference and Sustainable Brands New Metrics Conference. And we're very happy to welcome you here. A number of you have stopped by our table in the exhibit area. We appreciate that. And we'll be there the rest of today and tomorrow. If you want to stop by, we'd love to chat with you. And the short version is this. YK Center is a for-benefit business that is dedicated to accelerating the shift for companies and organizations and municipalities, accelerating the shift to sustainability, to for-benefit, to the new economy. And that's what this afternoon's presentation is going to be about. We've heard a lot in the last day and a half, really good stuff about metrics, but one of the things that stuck with me from this morning's opening presentation was the question, what is your assessment of the future risk? And it was the first time that I heard time mentioned as a metric. And in fact, from our point of view, time is the most important metric that we're dealing with because we're running out of it. It's a non-replaceable, non-renewable resource. Now, as far as the planet's concerned, a lot of times people will say, well, what are you trying to do, save the planet? No, planet's fine. Planet's got all the time in the world, it's going to save itself. One of the ways it's going to save itself is by treating us like a virus if we don't get our act together, and it'll eliminate us. So we're actually out to reboot and save humanity, which is a bold, audacious goal, but what the hell. I don't know of any other game worth playing. For our panel today, we're going to introduce you to three people. The first is our founder, Professor Yehuda Kahana, who is a leading expert on risk management and someone that the major insurance industry, not your broker down on the corner, but the big insurance companies listen to very closely. And as he'll tell you, he was instrumental in the insurance industry dedicating $80 trillion towards sustainable goals. Now, that's only the first half of the story. He'll tell you the other half, and that there's work for us to do.
Thank you very much. Hello, I'm very pleased to be here today, and sorry for the Hebrew, but what it said really, that I'm connected to risk management, and I'll show you how we can use the insurance industry that I have an expertise there to solve some of the major problems, and especially how we get financing, how it's possible to get a lot of financing for the things that we have to serve. The industrial economy is striving toward the maximization. The industrial economy is based on the desire to maximize the profit, and this led to tremendous increase in the economic success and to the economic prosperity of the world in the last two centuries, and especially in the last 5 decades. However, alongside with the economic growth, we had also a tremendous increase in risks and threats on our economies and on the environment and on the society. And these risks are threatening the existing of mankind on planet Earth. On the other hand, risks are always an opportunity, and therefore we have to find the opportunity in this case and to find how to use these situations in order to create a solution. And we have to find a way how to mitigate those risks and maybe how to prevent them. As an insurance expert, I would like to emphasize the ability to get the funds that are needed. And I think that the insurance industry, and especially the retirement funds and the pension funds, can be used as a tremendous leverage for our problem. And I believe that because of that, the insurance industry, by the way, will become soon more important than the banks. The reason for that is that they have a strong interest in environmental issues. They are the ones that pay the checks when big losses occur as a result of environmental risks. And for them, therefore, mitigation is a must. Not only that, remember that the money that they are investing is really our money. And because of that, they have to serve our needs. They have to serve our values. And therefore, they have to get our money and put it in the place where it is needed. The retirement saving of individuals are, in most cases, probably the major asset that the families have. And when you aggregate it, those savings are the major assets that humanity has, the very financial asset that humanity has. So therefore, we have to use that money, or we can use that money. We can use that money to serve the two purposes. One is to mitigate the threats, and at the same time to solve another issue, social issue, which is our retirement system, and also which is strongly connected to the employment system. The question is, does the industry have the sufficient amount? And the answer is yes. The insurance industry manages a portfolio of $80 trillion. It is an enormous amount. I think that with these amounts, it is possible to fight and mitigate the risk. Let's take just a single example, climate change. Climate change is not the only environmental risk, but it's a major environmental risk. And just in 2005, the Stern report has been about the impact of climate changes. It has been published, and they estimated the tremendous losses that we are suffering already from climate change. And they estimated that it requires an annual investment of about 2% of global GDP. 2% of the global GDP at that time was $1.5 trillion. So insurance companies, if they are directed to that direction, they can solve that problem. So the question is really not whether the amount is here, but whether we can assure that these amounts will be directed to the right direction. We should really replace these short-term horizon investments and replace them by long-term. We have to replace, therefore, the goals that the financial managers are using. And the goals have to be, I suggest, 4D, four-dimensional, not only triple bottom line, but four-dimensional. We should add not only the economy, society, and environment, we should add also another measure, another dimension to the system, which is consumer consciousness, citizens' consciousness. We need to have a new dashboard to the system, which is the four-dimensional dashboard. Once we'll have all these measured in, it will direct investments to the environmental issues, to the societal issue, to the renewable energies, to better education, to education of engineers, designers, and accountants that are needed to serve a new system like this. It will encourage new investments in cradle-to-cradle technologies, in the circular economy. So all these things are very, very important. How can we make it happen? As a professor, I'm a dreamer. However, I'm very practical as well. And when the Stern report was published, I immediately approached my friends, the leaders of the insurance industry, CEOs and chairpersons that I meet often, and to discuss the issue. And we discussed their interest in solving the problem and their ability to solve the problem. And they created, as a result, or as part of the process, they have created a committee to deal with the matter. They got the help of the United Nations Environmental Protection Agency, and they worked for a while with that committee, quite a long time actually, to define a treaty among the insurers and the retirement funds. Finally, in 2012, in the Rio Plus 20, they have published the treaty and signed it. They had a signatory ceremony in Rio de Janeiro. We almost have it in our hands because there is a subcommittee that is now working on the bylaws, and they face a major difficulty. Surprisingly, can you imagine what the difficulty is? The lack of metrics. Because that's a major issue. So this is the barrier that is standing now between us and the $40 trillion. The UN Secretary General has just announced about 2 weeks ago that the UN is going to have a matrix by March 2016, within a few months. So we are working also to that direction to develop the metrics and the tools that are needed for that. So if we all unite, the United Nations, the insurers, the people that are here, sustainable brands, Game Changer 500, YK Center, all of us will unite, and we can ensure the ability of our companies to get these funds. Do you realize the enormous meaning of this thing? So the money exists. However, we have to make sure that it is invested actually, and we'll be able to ensure it and reshape our future, the future of humanity. It's amazing, really. We have an opportunity that most people don't see the greatness of it. Only when you see it on a very large scale you can approach it. For that, we have to make a paradigm shift. We have to make a major change in the game. We have to become game changers. This will enable us to prosper not only in economic terms, but also in the other three dimensions. So what are the challenges that we have right now? First of all, we have to get, let's put it this way, we need to most of the American insurers to join the process. This is one thing. Secondly, we have to work on the 4D metrics and if possible, to add to it some uniform investment rules and reporting rules that fit the 4D dimension system. And we have to do it fast because the UN needs it by March 16. So, and this is needed for the benefit of humanity. And the third point is that we have to prepare management of firms and organizations and municipalities and all kinds of non-profit NGOs and whatever, to make them work in the direction of the new economy. And they have to change the way they behave, the way they operate in order to work within the new framework. This is what the YK Center is designed to do. We are doing all these things. We work with the top management and try to prepare them for the new economy. So what is next? This is what is next. This is possible, and it is happening right now. We need your help for that. All of you. First, we have to harness the US insurance industry, as I said earlier, to join. If there is a will, there is a way. So let's do that. Together we can find it. Second, we ask you to join our teams, working worldwide, design what we believe to be the most important dashboard that is the most important for you in humanity history, probably. And the third, pass our message. And please, if you like what you heard here, so let other people hear about it. Let's make the whole thing possible. So join us, and the question is, can we do that? And the answer is, yes, we can. And the yes, we can is a fantastic statement, really. Most people don't realize how international it is. Yes in English, we in French, and can, which is yes in Hebrew also. So thank you very, very much.
Well, thank you very much for coming to this lunch meeting, and have a great rest of your conference.